Yeah. So what? It's your boy, Bitz and Bobz. Good evening, everyone. Good morning. Good afternoon. Wherever you're watching, please smash a like. If you're new, please subscribe. Welcome to another show of Bitz and Bobz Meets. And tonight, I have a very, very special guest. A guest that is very influential in the Arsenal fan base and also in the YouTube fan base as well. Everyone, your mum, your dad, your dog, and your next door neighbor. Please, I welcome man like the voice of reason, Gooner Claude. Claude, how you doing, man?
That's some introduction, mate. That's some introduction. How are you, mate? How are you, mate? And nice to be on. Nice. Thank you for inviting me on, mate. Thank you for inviting me on. It's a real pleasure to be on your channel, and let's have a good chat. Yeah.
Amen to that. Amen to that. Claude, listen, thank you so much. I mean, obviously, we've been speaking backstage, and obviously, it's good to get to know you. Guys, if you're new, please subscribe, drop a like. Me and Claude are going to chew the fat tonight. And yeah, let's get into it. Claude, I mean, do you know what, Claude? Both our teams got through. I mean, we won, you lost, but you still got through. I think it'll be interesting just to hear your opinion on the draw, because I watched your... Claude, I watched your live, and I thought to myself, he's called it. Or we'll get Zagreb, and you called it, and easy draw. I'm sure I heard you say. Just for the people watching, Claude, what's your thoughts on it?
I was quoting Lee Gunner at the time, so
well, don't worry, we'll get to him as well.
No, I'm only joking. Actually, no, Lee Gunner said, who was it that said it was an easy draw? Did I say it? Was it me?
It was yourself and then Terry. I think your friend Terry on it.
No, I didn't say easy. I said it's the easiest draw we could get.
Okay.
The easiest path. Because although United have got, Granada?
Yeah. Granada.
Yeah, who just beat Thames Television in the group stage. Anyway. As long as I know they got Granada, but then they had Ajax or Roma, which is a tough semi-final. Whereas we've got Slavia Prague, which is not an easy game because, as you know, they put Leicester out and Rangers as well. They're a tough opposition, but also we've got Villarreal in the possible meeting with Emery in the set. But out of all the teams we could have played.
Yeah,
I think that's probably an easier path to the final, with a possibility of playing Manchester United in the final, which on present form between the two teams I think would make us favourites. But judging on the two games that we played against you season,
listen, I mean, to be honest with you, Claude, I mean, I saw the draw and I'm thinking, okay. And I thought to myself, I'd love Arsenal in the final, but I'd hate to have Arsenal in the final. Just going by previous meetings of yourselves, I'm worried about Arteta. I'm worried about Arteta when he plays us. So personally, I hope you get beat before the final. And we don't see you there. So yeah. Do you know what? Obviously, your club, my club, were in the draw. I think it would be not so good if we don't touch on the team that didn't get into the draw. A certain North London club that are managed by Jose Mourinho. Now, I'm not going to ask you why did they get beat, because I think we can know, any footballing fan can see why they got beat. I don't personally blame it on Jose, personally.
No, 100% players.
Yeah, I personally think that the manager can't kick the ball for you. As soon as you cross the white line, Claude, you've got to be competent. And, Lloris, the captain, came out today, Claude, and he said the manager told us to get a goal early. Now, Claude, I mean, obviously, you're the ops compared to Tottenham. What was your thoughts on it? I mean, were you shocked like everyone else?
I find the criticism of Jose a bit over the top, because I believe that I think some of these players do not like the work ethic that has to go into his teams. His teams are based on the hard work ethic. Yeah. And I don't think these players appreciate it. I remember Chelsea, right? When they won the league with what was it? The first year they won the league on his return to Chelsea. I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Hazard put in that work rate, but he couldn't do it He didn't want to do it 2 years running. He didn't want to do it again.
Yeah, didn't want to work.
They didn't want to work as hard because and that is the problem. I think with Jose's team, and don't call him Jose because he'll get annoyed because he's not Argentinian, by the way. Let's say he'll get annoyed about that. But to me, quite honestly, I think the players let him down. And if you look at the two games against Arsenal and last night, those players weren't playing for him. They weren't playing. They weren't putting in the work that is needed. Because at the end of the day, they shouldn't be getting beat 3-0 by Zagreb. With all due respect to Zagreb, although the first goal was a wonder goal, but look at there was no one closing the guy down, was there? There was no
intent. Yeah, exactly what you're saying.
And that's not acceptable. It's not. And look, in the North London derby, and I saw a lot of their ex-players on Twitter after say, do these players actually realise what a North London derby means? Because they didn't seem to want it. And Arsenal wanted it more on the day. Arsenal wanted that game more than Tottenham.
Facts.
Considering now that Tottenham had more, that game meant a bit more to Tottenham because they were actually near that top 4 place. That Arsenal wanted it more, and that was very surprising. I just feel the players let him down. I think it shows that Lloris came out and said it as well. That
he looked like he's seen a ghost, didn't he? He looked like he's seen a ghost, Lloris. I don't think he could believe what he was watching. And you could say, Zagreb, look, great. They'll probably not perform like that ever again because Tottenham obviously dropped the tools. It was tools down. However, but the goal that got them through, no one even tackled him, Claude. And I think that was alarming to me. No one tried to at least stop him. Listen, take nothing away from the gentleman. Hat trick against a Jose Mourinho side. Look, that's an accolade itself. But yeah, I mean, look, they're out. Jose. I do apologize. Jose.
You'll get in trouble, You keep calling him Jose.
So, listen, Claude, thank you for coming. Obviously, bits and bobs. You know how we do it. We chew the fat. We talk about real life things, society, social media, and obviously football as well. So we'll be going back and forth into it. But Claude, I just want to ask you a quick question. Obviously, you're a young man, and I just want to know.
No, I'm not young. No,
what's your thoughts on YouTube? We were talking about obviously the editing and stuff. What's your honest opinion about YouTube?
It's a young honest opinion. It's a young man's game. Definitely a young man's game. It's not for an old man, I tell you. Not for I get by. I've got my own channel, as you know, but I struggle with it because it is a young man's game. It's definitely a young man's game. If you look at the big channels, they're all young guys in their 30s. Most of them, anyway. Most of them are quite in the young bracket because they know how to do with new technology better than anyone else.
100%.
And of course, I think they're more people want to see more younger people on the.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
Do you think so?
Yeah. They're not interested in old fogies like me, mate.
Do you know what? I would never call you an old fogey. Do you know what I'd say, Claude? As you get older, you get better. That's what I say to people. And enjoy growing old, enjoy aging, definitely. Listen, that segues me to my next thing about you. You're an Arsenal fan, okay? My first question to you, right, is you've seen many managers in your duration of being an Arsenal fan. What's it like supporting Arsenal now compared to way back when?
It's all about expectations levels, you know what I mean? Because I go back to the 70s. I go back to when I started supporting Arsenal when they just were breaking up the double team, the double team, and players were coming to the end, and then we struggled through the mid-70s. And then we won the FA Cup in 79, as you will probably know about.
My father makes me aware of that, yeah.
In quite a dramatic final, by the way, quite a dramatic final. Yeah, your expectations level goes up because, to be honest with you, when I was going on the train to away games in the early days, it didn't feel too bad because you weren't expecting it. You weren't expecting things, so you took it. You took it. We had a good laugh. I think there was more fun there. It was more. It wasn't so serious. You didn't take defeat so serious. You could have a drink, have a laugh after.
Got you.
Now it's getting more. It gets more painful because the expectations level rise because we were now starting to challenge for league titles.
Yeah,
doing really well, and then you come back down again, and then that's where you start. We should be up there. We should be doing this. We should be doing that. And
100%.
It's hard to take. You're gonna be honest. I think I enjoyed it more. I think I enjoyed the old days more because I enjoyed the going in the pub and discussing the game. There was no bickering. There was plenty of rivalry. Yeah, definitely. But
when you say rivalry, do you mean proper rivalry?
There was proper rivalry.
Social media derbies.
It got really rough. It got really rough on the terraces, mate. I mean, let me tell you, I'll never forget coming back from West Ham United and getting back on the tube and after tube train was smashed up, the lights bang, it was terrible. There was frightened little kids sitting there frightened out because it was terrible. Football hooliganism was really poor. We're really bad in them days. You know what I'm saying? So.
It was widely reported, obviously, the hooliganism in those days. It painted the English fans, with a massive troubled brush. See now, Claude,
you know what it is, as well. In a way, it's great what's happened to the game, and it's got more commercial. Yeah, it's great, but in a lot of ways, it's not because I remember the FA Cup final. Used to be the one game we all look forward to. Yeah, all look forward. You all prepare. Now it's just it's only the cup final. It's not really. It's not as big. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%.
In fact, winning the FA Cup was, to me, you put that on the same level. Some fans will put it on the same level as in the old days as winning the league because it was big. It was you get up at 8 o'clock in the morning. You watch all the build up. Starts at 8 o'clock in the morning. All the build up. You get all your mates round. You get the beers in and all that. You have a real good drink, and then you watch the cup final. And sometimes the cup final can actually be a really poor game. It'll be an honour, but it's the build up and everything else. You know what I'm saying? It's like the build up to Christmas, isn't it? When you all the build up to you having a good drink. And then on the day, everyone falls asleep, don't they?
100%. Yeah, 100%.
You know what I'm saying, don't you?
100%.
The build up. It's more to the, and you haven't got that build up anymore because every game now is televised. Not now. I mean, even now, but you had a lot of more live football, Premiership, all live, and all that sort of thing. No more the 3 o'clock. Everyone playing at 3 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon. That's all gone.
It's changed.
You know what I mean? All games, one's playing 3, one is playing 5, and it's better to watch, but
it's not the same, is it?
I think I prefer the old days. I do, to be honest.
Do you know what? There's a lot of people I've asked who are older than me, respectfully, and it's not the same, And I was just to think to myself, what do you mean by that? And the way you've obviously illustrated the fact that, the build-up, obviously the camaraderie, and obviously the rivalry, and you say that obviously with inverted commas there. So obviously, my dad used to tell me, about like what it was like to go down to Highbury or go away, and it was like, okay, cool, and but then it was like, especially if you won. It was all worth it.
Coach, you could have beer on the train.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
You can't have all that anymore. what was it? You could turn up a game now. If you know you haven't got a ticket, you can't get in. I could go to Highbury and go 1:30 in the morning. I leave my house and I can turn up at 20 in the front, just walk through the gate, just pay your money and go in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now you've got to have a ticket. You've got to have this. If you haven't got a season ticket or whatever, you can't go in. And it's not the same anymore. It's not.
Do you know what's not the same, Claude? Do you know what's not the same as them before? Is YouTube now. Obviously, the fan channel.
Yeah.
You know,
that's another thing. That's another thing altogether. YouTubers, social media, it's taken over as well. Yeah, and people rather than watch pundits now, rather listen to
someone like yourself,
to idiots like me. Yeah,
because you know what, like social media obviously is crazy and it's very powerful and influential for good and for bad. Unfortunately, you were part of a very, very, very entertaining fan channel called AFTV, Arsenal Fan TV, and like, what was it like when you were a part of that? When I say what is it like, what was the process like? You'd go to the games, you'd travel. Was it like after the game you had to find a spot?
It all started. I mean, I first went on there. I can't remember the game it was, but the first time I went on there, I was quite. I thought, this ain't gone too well. Because I'm very, I'm not very good. I'm not very good on interviews and all that. I'm not. And you get better as you go along. But I thought I've got to give my view. I've got to give my. I'll see what it's like, and then you suddenly get addicted to it, and so suddenly every time every week you're on it, then it all builds up. Then of course you have these times where you really let off steam, and it gets it gets on YouTube, and it goes round to a lot of people. It gets over 100,000 people at time, 200,000 maybe, and then you start getting recognised in the street. I'll never forget. They were playing. What was it? They were playing my interview with Talk Sport on the because I was working for Addison Lee, driving for Addison Lee at the time, and I was taking a passenger. And they recorded. I had Talk Sport on, but I didn't switch off. There was an old lady in the front, lovely old lady, and they were recording my video about the Monaco game, and I'm talking to Adrian Durham, and she said, and it was me on there. It was me on there. She said, "Who is that idiot talking about? What's he talking about?" And I had to look at her. I said, "Oh yeah. I know what you mean." I never admitted it was me.
But obviously you've got the famous catchphrase, it's time to go. Did you ever think that was going to be?
No, I don't look at it like that. I mean, to be honest with me, I don't even look at me. Everyone said, "Keep going on, mate. You're famous," but I don't consider myself as fan. I just consider myself as a football fan. I don't even consider it. I didn't think it, but now thinking about it and listening, even people now ringing me up now asking me to say it down the phone. I'm getting phone calls. No, honestly, there are people now phoning me. Please, can you say it down? Can you say those words down the phone? It gets a bit annoying at times. Especially at 3 o'clock in the morning.
I can imagine. But listen, if you can trademark it and make money off it, look,
Oh no, there's no real market. There's no money off it. Honestly, I haven't made any money off it. I mean, look, me, I wish I've not made any money off it. Honestly, the only people.
I was just saying that.
The only people that really make money out of it, and good luck to them because they're the ones that, and they put a lot of hard work in it. It's the channel because they put a lot of work. People don't realise how hard that they work on that channel. Yeah.
Oh, enlighten us because
hours and hours on that channel, and all I do is just sit there and chat on the camera. That's all I do. They have to do all the hard work, so I never really got anything out of it really. To be honest.
There's a nice question here from Aman Basufa, and I hope I pronounced that well, Aman. Claude, do people recognize you in public, everyday life?
100%. Yeah. No, I'll tell you what was I thought was an awkward moment for me, and I didn't like it at all, because I think it's when when you've got people around the camera, everyone crowds round.
Yeah.
And they're all coming up to me wanting a photo, which I don't understand why they want a photo of me anyway. I don't understand all that carry on. I mean, if I was an actor or a singer, I've done something in my life, I couldn't understand it. But I couldn't, and I was embarrassed because Liam Brady walked straight past, and not one person went over to him.
Are you serious?
Well, yeah, and I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed by it, and to be honest with you, I thought that's not right. That isn't right.
Do you know what's funny? Do you know what's funny? We were talking about this generation. It's changed, isn't it? You know, like back in the day, if you were a singer, an actor, an actress, or on the TV, you were classed as a sensation, as a celebrity. Now, we were talking earlier that the generation has changed, as we've said previously.
But what has the world come to when people say I'm a celebrity? I don't get it. What is it?
Do you know what it is, Claude? I'll tell you what.
It's a strange world, mate. It's a strange world. All I've done is talk on a camera to camera. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Do you know what? Let me try and break it down for you, because you say you're just the guy that speaks on the camera. You need to remember the take on football. Like you said, you'd get your friends round, watch the previews from 8 a.m, watch the cup final. Remember what football was like? You'd watch a preview. You'd watch Jeff and Friends. You'd listen to all these pundits talk. But most of the time, I think some people will allow me to say this, we don't agree with what they've got to say. We feel like they're too PC. They're working with a script. And along comes fan channels that actually say what the fans are really, really thinking. We don't sugarcoat it. We're not putting any honey on it or anything. It is what it is. And I think for you guys, AFTV, and shout out to Don Robbie, the period where Arsenal fan TV were up and coming because it was new, it was refreshing. People actually look forward to it, especially when Arsenal lost. I think we have to say
bad news sells, doesn't it? Bad news sells, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, there you go. And also though, we've grown to like the characters like yourself, Ty, Troops, DT, Turkish, Robbie. And I think everyone, even though you didn't support Arsenal, you could relate to yourself, because I think to myself that, wow, actually, I agree with him. I get what he's saying. 100% get what he's saying. So obviously, you were amongst that all. What was it like when you knew you'd lost the game, and you knew Robbie was going to come over with a microphone? What was that like, knowing that Arsenal just lost the game, and you're thinking to yourself, for God's sake, we need to do this fan channel? What goes through your head at the time?
Got to be real, and I just let my feelings out on the game or what I feel. And sometimes the vocabulary is not very good coming out of your mouth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not nice, but it's just, what you've got to understand is straight after a game, and when you're emotionally, you might say things that when you get home and think to yourself, maybe I was too harsh, or maybe wasn't right. But what you've got to understand, that is pure emotion coming out. That's real. That's real. Right? I never go on cameras and that. I never go on to act. There are a few that do it, but I won't do it. When I'm going on a camera, I'm real. That's me. Real. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's my true emotion of the game and how I feel about the game. If I'm upset, and when I'm happy, you'll see me happy. You'll see me smile, which is
I've watched it because like I say to you, I'm a football fan. I have many relatives that are Arsenal fans, so obviously you know the way it goes. If Arsenal lose, can't wait to watch AFTV and chill. If they win,
punches, and if Robbie tries it on, I put him in his place. You know what I'm
exactly.
saying?
And also, there's another character.
I won't have it. Although
yes.
I get on very well with him, you know, and I pull no punches. You know what I'm saying? So that's, you've got to be real. You've got to show your true feelings. You've got what you think, and maybe sometimes you go too over the top, but you're doing it because you just come out of a game, right?
Yeah.
It's like you have an argument with your missus, and then the next after that it blows over, and everything is okay, isn't it? So
100%,
you know what I mean?
100%.
Although I'm single because
listen, guys. Claude's single. Listen, you know
yeah,
what I mean?
well,
Want to get in touch?
yeah,
Check in his Twitter DMs.
I'm too old for that now. But I'm too old. I'm an old man. I'm an old man. No one would even look at me now, mate. So, but
Claude,
you that's how it.
Can I ask you a question? My next question is: you and Ty had like a Dynamo duo act. It was like, you know, we all grew to waiting for the fan channel.
People say it was an act.
Yeah, when I say act, I don't mean you put it on. I mean like Ant and Deck. Do you know what I mean? The Dynamo duo. You know, you've got these two people that
they don't seem to argue though on an act though. And we always argued. We were like cat and dog, mate. I mean, we was always arguing, mate, because he is hard. He was very hard work. I mean, let me tell you.
Why was he hard work though? Is it because he was so
he's hard work,
or just, you know, did he have the Arsenal blinkers on?
Yeah, he's stubborn and he won't see anything. He only sees he only sees through those tinted glasses that he's got or whatever. And it's a weird thing really, because he's another character. I mean, you sometimes unfortunately have to sit with him at away games, and he's watching the game, and he's got if we're at Man City, he's got Radio Manchester in his ear hole. And I said, "You're watching the game. What are you listening to it on the radio for?" I'm thinking to myself, "Oh dear."
He's sorry, I just plugged my charger in. No, but like, so Ty, okay, we had the relationship with Ty. Who out of the crew?
By the way, we don't talk anymore at the moment. We're not talking anymore.
We're not talking. Okay, well that leads me to obviously the unfortunate of you obviously leaving AFTV for certain comments and stuff.
Yeah, well, first of all, I've got to say this, and I've had to live with this crap.
Yeah.
Since July and everything, and I've got the utmost respect for Robbie. Don't get me wrong. I think he had no choice. He was either the sponsors. I blame the people on social media who call themselves Arsenal fans, suddenly putting this crap up just to go against AU. And I happened to be the scapegoat at the time.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I still to this day, and this is the pain I've got really, because I've been completely dismissed off the channel for something that I haven't done, and the guys in there know, and I still it pains me. I'm sorry, and that includes Ty. He knew exactly what I meant, and they never stuck up for me. Robbie has no choice. He's under pressure. He's got to do this. He's got to do that. So. And personally, in my personal life, he's helped me out a lot. So I can't really say too much about him. But those guys could have backed me a bit more. They never backed me at the time. They know what I said. They know what I meant. And you know what what really hurts is the guys on Twitter, the so-called Arsenal fans on Twitter who went against me. Are the same guys that were singing on the train. Some of them that went against me were singing the White song on the train to away matches. So the White,
there's a theory of cancelling culture.
Yeah, but this is what I'm trying to say to you. What I said was not. I don't think if you know the history of Spurs and Arsenal is that they run videos.
Yep.
We'd like to do DVDs or videos.
Yep.
Right. I can tell you the time that I was referring to that at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But because it's the way it's come across, I said someone's just put a tape together, right, and decided to hang me. And since then, I've had numerous horrible phone calls about my dead mother, about race, that I'm a racist, I'm a racist, that. Horrible things about my mother who's not alive anymore.
May she rest in peace.
And this is what I mean. This is 2 o'clock in the morning, and because I have to keep my phone on because my dad's not very well. You know, he's not in a great shape. You know, he's 84, but he's not in a great shape. All right. So I've had all this crap. Someone said change your number. Well, it's all very well, but I've got a lot of contacts that I need. I can't just keep changing my number. You know what I'm saying? But someone's decided to put my number out there, and all I'm getting now is constant abuse. One night there was the police were around, and I put the phone on, and they heard the conversation that they were saying, and they said, "Look, carry this on, and we'll take further action." But it's always phone calls. They're not putting their numbers up. They're just private number. See, I don't know what a private number is, and I answer it at 3 o'clock in the morning. The phone starts ringing. People say put it on silence, but if something happens to my father or anything of my related, it's on silence. What good is that to me? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, 100%. You said something earlier. The White Song. You know, if you don't mind, elaborate on the White Song for me.
The Y song. The Y song.
Yeah. Obviously, I know the word that you're referring to. Well, obviously, it's offensive to people and stuff, and obviously the people that
but they're ganging up with Tottenham fans, saying, "Look at this guy, what he said about Son." They're Arsenal fans, yeah.
Yeah.
They're ganging up, and yet they're the ones they'll be the same people that do the same thing. It's you know, all they wanted, they weren't interested in what Son or what happened to what.
Yeah.
They were just wanting to have a go at someone from AFTV, and I was the target.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Right. And then that was it. And then these sponsors, I mean, who didn't give me a chance to explain myself, they're asking me to go on a course. Why should I go on a course when I'm not said anything wrong? You know what I'm saying? Why should I go on a course? You know what I'm saying? I've done nothing wrong. And then the other day, Ty has gone on another channel to say that I was in the wrong. You know what I'm saying? And I thought that was disrespectful. And I you know, at the end of the day, he knows what I meant. But because they're looking after themselves, okay, that's all right. Looking after themselves so they don't lose their position, whatever. They've crucified me, and I'm not. I wouldn't want to. The only person I would speak to again is Robbie. I wouldn't speak to any of that lot anymore. To be honest with you.
Do you know what? From what you're saying, Claude, right? Unfortunately,
listen to me. There's a lot worse being said by other members of AFTV that's far worse. And in fact, I didn't even say anything bad, and and are still working there. I'll let you work that one out.
Yeah, I think you know, it doesn't take an FBI agent to realize what you are meaning and what you're talking about, and you know, you're 100% right on that. And that's what I want to talk about from the next segue. And please, guys, if you're watching, please share, like, subscribe. I've got Claude in here chewing the fat with me. We're keeping it real, you know. Claude, you know, it's a shame, obviously, the abuse you got and obviously the way you were treated and stuff. Mentally, right? That's tough, you know. People calling you, abusing you. Police have had to get involved. How did you cope with that? You know.
Well, you know, everyone knows I do suffer from depression as well.
Yeah.
It's not easy. It's not easy to cope. There are some days I wake up, I don't even want to be here. And that's how it is. That's how it is.
That word is the sentence is damning. It is, and you know, I pray for you, man, because to be able to wake up and
there's some days I just don't want to there's some nights I go to sleep, I just think, no, do I really want to wake up? You know what I'm saying? And you might think, oh, that ain't right, but it's the way I feel. It's the way I feel. You know, there's a lot. You know, I
express yourself, Claude. Listen, you know, look, I've got a thing where I say a problem half shared is a problem half solved.
Well,
and
this
I
whole,
never,
whole thing, my and I love my daughter. I love my daughter. Like I still love my daughter, even though she won't speak to me for 4 years, and it must be now coming up to 5 years. I still love them to death, and I really, I haven't seen my grandchildren for 4 or 5 years.
I'm sorry, man.
That's all going on top, and all this is going on top of you know what I'm saying? There are
builds,
times,
doesn't it? It builds.
You know, I haven't got my only family now. I mean, they don't want to know me anymore. The only family I've got now is my dad at the moment, and that's it. And he's not very well at the moment, and I feel
lonely.
There are people that say they're found. There are people that backed me, and a lot of people like Kenny. Ken's always there like a brother for me. But at the end of the day, it's not easy. It's not easy. It's difficult,
especially with the pandemic. You know, obviously no one's seen that coming. And obviously, you know, self-isolating.
That's hard as well. Yeah, that is definitely hard because you're locked up as well. You're locked up, and
exactly.
Well. That's not easy. And I love going to the games. That's my release. Getting the games, meeting a few friends for drinks after.
Yeah,
I'm not even doing that anymore, and I miss all. And when you're not got no family around you, it's hard.
100%. Yeah. And you know what?
When I lost my mother, it taught me I still can't get over losing my mother through cancer in 2009. I still can't get over it.
You know? It's tough, Claude, because you know, I think unfortunately in a situation like with sponsors and stuff, there's always going to be an scapegoat, and someone's always going to be there to blame. And you know, people say these phrases, "Oh, that's my boy," or "No, me and Claude are this and that." But you know, it's like you don't realize until something actually happens where you stand with a lot of people, you know. And unfortunately, with yourself, your exit from AFTV, we saw what happened, how you were treated, and so on. You know, look, you're saying you don't want to go on the course. I mean, the way I see it is this, you know, if you were backed, there could have been a different outcome, you know. And it's the aftermath, though, what people don't generally think. We've got a culture of cancelling. We've got a culture of getting rid of people so quickly. Yet, you know, the social media people are the ones that are judging. No one's Jesus here. No one's God. You know, whatever religion you respectfully follow and believe in.
Yeah.
Exactly. It feels like to me that you are being used as an example. And, you know, Claude, it's funny, isn't it? You know, you're a middle-aged white man. You support Arsenal. You live in London. You know, it's like such a stereotype, isn't it? You know, whatever you say, or, you know, because of where he's came from, how he's grew up and stuff, he is a racist and stuff. I think there's always context, isn't it? And I think if there's context and if people around you could support you or should have supported you a bit better, mentally, I think you wouldn't be on your own. And obviously, like I said, with the pandemic, it's been hard for everyone, but also
what it is, Bob. What it is I already had that with all the my family, all that.
Yeah,
not being there anymore, and but with that added on top, I think that was the, you know, that really that took a heavy thing on me, and there's a few people that keep me going at the moment.
God bless them.
Really good friends, and treat me like but they're like family because they treat me. There are some family members that I know that don't even talk to me. You know what I'm saying? So these people, they're always there for me. And if it wasn't for them, I don't think I'd be here now. Because to be honest with you, it's their support that keep me going. But it's still, I still feel my life is still a bit empty. If you see what I'm saying.
And do you know, my heart goes out to you because having such, I come from a big massive family myself, and I'm the oldest, and you know, because I didn't agree to certain things, you know, you get treated differently, you get exiled, and I hear the pain in your voice because I can actually not just show empathy with you, I can understand, you know. And what people don't realize, do you know when you do something, Claude, and you're saying to people that you've broke bread with, went out with, got to know, got close with, and you know an incident happens. Yes, let's be honest, it is a serious incident, and but you weren't really given a good chance to explain
No,
explain yourself.
no, I was made guilty. I was made guilty by the kangaroo court of Twitter. That's where I've been made guilty, and I find it. I think it's irresponsible of these sponsors to go by a couple of seconds on a tape, which clearly doesn't show that I'm being racist or anything like that.
I've watched it. Yeah, look. I've watched it. Look, I'm a black man, so you can imagine.
And you ask Kenny because he's old school. Kenny Ken phoned me up. He's the only one that defended me on it on Twitter. Actually, who defended me and said that I was. I'm talking about publicly on Twitter. That's defended me on that. So, and he understands because he's old school. He understands what I'm about. And he knows the history between Arsenal and Spurs, and that's it. Simple. And because I'm a great admirer of Son. I think he's a wonderful footballer. So
I wish he was at my club. I wish he was at Man United. To be honest,
you know, well, I mean, it's just ridiculous. And but then you've got people like Ty, who actually believe that are going public and saying that don't want to talk to the guy, don't want to do this, and have nothing to do putting me down, knowing exactly what I meant. And I find that, and you know what I've learned in this game, right? That and you could talk about it in the whole industry of it all. That you're as good as yesterday, or how they say,
you're only as good as your last game. That's what they say in football.
People can suddenly be all very, very nice to you and be your mate and be your friend. Suddenly, when something bigger comes along, you're out. You're bang.
That's it.
You're not worth a dime anymore. So, but it's a harsh lesson to learn. But I feel more for the young ones because because this thing will go sour for them as well at one point, and it's how they react to it.
Exactly.
Because I'm telling you, this is a very, very cruel business. Very, very cruel business.
And you know what? I hope people that are watching this, that are on YouTube, are watching this. You know, like it can be a cruel business, and you know, you've got to keep a nice circle around you, Claude, for obvious reasons: positivity, sanity, and also just to know that you've got people around you. You know, I'm very fortunate that I've got a nice little support system. People I've met, you know, they know who they are, and I'm very fortunate. But you know, we don't just talk about football, Claude. We talk about family. You know, we talk about, you know, what we do in life, work, jobs. It's not just everyday football rivalry. You know, one of the people in the comments right now, her name's Lambs. She's like a sister to me. You know, and we talk personal, and you know, I'm very, very grateful for her, and I'd like to think she's very grateful to me. That's obviously the woes of AFTV. Can you remember a massive high or one of the best moments at AFTV?
Best moments, I would say, when we won the FA Cup against Chelsea, and I was quite emotional that day. That was a good day.
Did you think you were going to win
against Chelsea? No, yes, I actually did think, because I thought the previous week, and I was talking to Chelsea fans before that game, and I said that game the week before, I think their intensity had gone out. They won the league, and their intensity wasn't there. And you could tell on the final. I said, your intensity, because you treated John. I think it was John Terry's last league game or something. Or was it?
when you won the FA Cup?
No, the league the week before.
The week before, yeah.
They treated it like a testimonial, didn't they?
Yeah.
I can't remember what team they were playing, but then, and I said they were too relaxed. And I think if you're going to a final, you've got to have that intensity.
Yeah.
And I didn't think they were going into that final with that intensity, and I think it played into our hands. And I was right, and I thought that game I knew we'd win, but I was emotional because a lot of things went wrong that year for me, and it was a lovely day, a lovely way to finish the season, and quite an enjoyable moment.
That's nice to hear. You know, obviously as a Man United fan, it's not, but as a human, it's nice to hear that obviously you've enjoyed.
Also, there was good moments as well. Meeting, having that little debate with Gary Neville, that was good. I enjoyed that.
Yes, actually, do you know what? Yeah, I remember that. You got him to come in. You know, also let's not forget the spat with Simon Jordan. So what was that? What was that like with Gary Neville? You know, like back and forth with him.
It was nothing to do with me, the spat with Jordan, but the one with Gary Neville is when he was saying that we was a bit harsh on Wenger. And we had a little debate with him in the studio, and right at the end, I just had to ask him. About, do you think Rooney cheated in the 2000? Do you think he dived? That's it. I think it's it. I said, do you think he dived in the 50th game where against United? And he said, yeah, all right, yeah, but we still won. I'm going to admit it. I will admit it. It was quite funny at the time because it got a bit silly, too serious. I thought lighten the mood up, you know. So, have you not seen it? No, the video.
Yeah. Like I've laughed. Like when I say to you, I used to watch AFTV religiously. I think it's the one of the few fan channels that I watch, and I don't support the club because I watch for the people. And you were one of them. And you know, I feel like, you know, the band has been split. You know, I mean, I respect DT, I respect what he does and stuff, but you know, I grown to love yourself, Ty.
Do you respect him?
When I say respect him, I respect him because he comes on YouTube, he puts himself in the camera, and he says what he feels. I've watched a few things of him and been like, oh, okay, you know. But Claude, I'm not one to judge. Do you know what I mean? I'm not one to sit here and say how the next man or the next person should live their life. There's the things he does that I don't agree with, you know. But I'm sure there's things that I do that people don't agree with. So I think sometimes I say this: we need to just accept and respect, you know. And you know, I respect him.
There are people that are real, and there are people that play for the cameras and play for the to get their audience. I'm afraid I'll leave it at that.
I think what you're I get what you're trying to say. There's people that go for clicks and views. Yeah,
I'll leave it at that anyway. And let's put it that way.
Anyway,
let's put it this way. Yeah, you pull a banner out after we've just beaten Hull 4-0 in the FA Cup, and we're 4th or 5th in the league under Wenger. But you're happy to be 10th place under Arteta. Can you work that one out, please? I think certain people are just playing for the cameras, and what you get with me, I might not get so many views, but then again, I didn't go on the back of KSI's backside to get there. So, you know, at the end of the day, you might have 200,000, but you're not real, mate. You're not real. You never will be. Here we go.
I hear what you're saying, Claude, and I really respect you for being honest and open here. And I want this channel obviously for people. We're not here to judge. We're just here to speak our feelings. Claude, on that, okay, with everything that's happened, you're now obviously a YouTuber, okay. That's not the most technical savvy as you've said to me. How are you finding it? Claude and the Bandsters. Where did that come from?
It came from because I can't cope on it. I can't do things like that. I can't do channels on my own, mate. So there were these two guys. There was more, and then they pissed off when I put the few rules down. But there's there was four guys that came to me. No, they came. Can you help them with their channel? And I thought I'm not going nowhere. And you know how hard it is.
Yeah.
Right? If I wasn't a face, mate, I wouldn't even have 50 subscribers. Yeah. Let's get it there. It's very difficult to set up a channel, and I'm very lucky because I've been on AFTV that I've even got the amount. If I didn't have AFTV, I wouldn't even get beyond 50. That's why I admire people that got 1,000 subscribers and all that. They've done well because to be honest with you, that's very, very difficult. It's very, very difficult to get your name up there and get you going. So where was I?
Claude and the Bandsters. Where did that come from?
Right. So there was four of us. There was four of them. They came up to me and can I help them with their channel? Can I put I don't mind helping people. That's what I'm like. I help people out. I help people.
Yeah.
The other channels, there's other channels I help out if I can help them. Right. In fact, I help people more than I help myself sometimes. You know what I'm saying? That's the way I am. Right. And they said that there, and I said, look, guys, it's a good thing, but maybe if you come on mine, I've already got the subscribers. Come on mine, we'll share the channel, and and they came, and two of them decided that they wanted to run everything on the channel. They wanted to change the name on the channel, so I fucked them off. And excuse my language, but so now they're running the Arsenal Lounge. I don't know if you've seen it. And that's it. So they've got their own channel now, and good luck to them. But you're not running. You're not going to start running my one and telling me how to
run it. Yeah.
I don't mind your input, but you don't tell me how to run it, right? All right, and that's how it is, and that's why we're now Claude and the Bouncers. I've got two guys there. They work hard as well, and really work hard. Terry and Diesel, they work really hard, and they put their work in. No moaning. So when
there's a comment here from Laurie, big Arsenal fan. Claude, Diesel and Terry, they keep Claude sane most of the time.
Well, I don't know about that. Anyway, and they really did. And when I was ill over the last few weeks, and I still haven't really got over it. I've not really had a bad. My throat is still not right. And And what's happened is that they've kept the channel going for me while I've been there. So well done, because there's not at the moment. It's not, as you know, the money's not there at the moment, and they're doing it all for next to nothing as well. So I've got to give them a lot of praise, and that's how Claude and Bouncers came about.
So now, obviously, we know the story, obviously, of you and your YouTube channel. Okay, I watched your YouTube channel today, and I feel, I do watch it anyway, but I watched today because obviously the draw and stuff. And before I go into there, we've got a question here for you from Abdallah. Thank you so much, mate. If you're new, please subscribe. Wagwan, Claude and Bobz, what's your prediction for the Champions League quarterfinals?
I think Liverpool will beat Real Madrid. I think Real Madrid. I watched them against Atlanta, and I think there's a lot of reliance on. There's too much reliance on Benzema. I think I don't fancy him at all in the tournament. So I think Liverpool will win that one. Chelsea, I think, will go through. It won't be easy, but I think they'll go through. It'll be a Liverpool-Chelsea semi-final. I think Bayern will play Man City. I've got a feeling we'll see a Chelsea-Bayern final. Chelsea-Bayern final.
Chelsea-Bayern final. You heard it here, and I hope Chelsea get beat.
I think Chelsea the other night, I've got to say, they were phenomenal. And this is why this Tuchel has absolutely turned everything around, hasn't it? In the space of time, their organisation, their work rate, everything was a phenomenal performance. It's one of the best teams performances I've seen from an English side in Europe for a long time. That was really fantastic. They just completely.
Do you think they're equipped? Do you think they're equipped to do it?
Atletico Madrid are a very, very good side. They're
no mugs
in Spain, and they just completely froze man. Kante's performance the other night. I mean, that was it. It was like having 3 or 4 players on the pitch. Amazing performance. Timo Werner seems to be getting better and better. I wasn't a big fan of him at the start. Yeah, I think they'll get to the final. I don't know about Bayern Munich though. If they can beat Bayern Munich in the final, that's another thing.
You don't think so? I think it's tough. It's tough. I think obviously with the Chelsea friends, the friends that I have that support Chelsea, I don't want them to get anywhere near the final. But you know, as a football fan, you can't not help applaud what Tuchel's done. You know, organization in a very short space of time. You know, we've got to applaud it, and you know, they're not conceding goals and they're winning games, Claude. You know, however, Bayern Munich is a machine. You know, we can't. We can't not just not declare them. So, 100%. Swifting on to obviously what I was trying to ask you. So the YouTube now, how do you find that on a day-to-day basis now, especially being in the pandemic that we are in? I mean, well, people are calling it a pandemic. It is, but some people are treating it as a long holiday. Some people don't stick to the rules. How do you find? Is YouTube a nice escapism for you?
Yes and no. It's okay. You know what though? It's going to be hard the next couple of weeks with this bloody international break. You know what I mean? That's hard because I hate international breaks. I don't know how many players are going to be. I don't know if there's going to be trouble with players going over to these, because there's a lot of countries that they come back, don't they? Have to go into quarantine for 14 days or something. So, I don't know what's going to go on there, but I suppose it's got to happen. They've got to get the international calendar out of the way. But I don't like international breaks at all, mate.
Yeah, I think it's just glorified.
I'm a club guy. I can't. The only time I can watch it is in tournaments. I can't watch all that.
Yeah, glorified friendlies, isn't it? At the end of the day,
it bores me to watch it. Are they World Cup qualifiers that they're playing now?
Oh, bro, I'm Claude. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm the same with you. I switch off when it comes to the friendlies. You know, for Scotland, it's just another advert to show how bad we are. Do you know what I'm saying?
You know what, though? You know what? They've got some good players now. They've got Kieran Tierney. I like that McGinn. I think that McGinn is a terrific player.
The city McGinn is loved by the green side of Edinburgh. Great player. I don't think many people are shocked how well he's doing, because many Scottish people knew how good he is.
You've got Tierney, you've got Robertson. They're all good
Che
players.
Adams now. He's been called up. You know,
yeah, Che Adams.
He gets a few goals.
I'm sure you can find someone else before the World Cup. before the Euros come along.
Well, do you know what, mate? We play England.
I mean, Don Hutchinson. Where's his Scottish ants? I don't know.
Listen. There's a few players that played for Scotland that we can very much question how they got into the Scottish jersey, 100%. But we can also question a few English players. You know, there's a few English players that are playing for Ireland.
Even Ray Houghton should have played for Scotland, really, shouldn't he?
You're taking it back now, Claude, are you not? You're taking it back with Ray.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about Ray Houghton. I think he should have played for Scotland, really, to be honest with you. Wasn't he born in Scotland?
I don't know. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know. It wouldn't be the first player that England have taken, you know.
Apparently, Grealish could have played for Ireland, couldn't he?
Yeah. But obviously, they chose England. I think they also choose England for the sponsorship as well.
And Declan Rice as well, isn't it?
There you go.
I'm looking at their they've got some good talent, England, but I'm not sure whether this manager will know how to fit them into the right shape. I'm not.
Claude, is that not the same conversation of every manager that takes on England? I don't know if he's going to be able to do this.
This is a good bunch now. This is a really good bunch of players they've got. Great, they've got great. All these players now, even Mason. There are players that are really good, top quality that won't even be in the squad.
Who do you think? While we're on it now, Claude, who's not making the squad? You know,
well, there will be.
I know there's an additional there, but you know,
they can only bring 23 at the end of the day, aren't they? Can only bring 23 players.
So. Exactly.
So there will be players that are really quality that won't be going. But so there's no. They could have a good tilt at it, you know. But I'm not sure whether Southgate knows what he's doing. To be honest with you,
I don't. Do you know what? We'll conclude on this. I personally think the way he's picked the teams prior, it's just been how Eric Dyer's still getting caps. I think I read today that he's had more caps than Michael Carrick, which is scary. But at the same time, Michael Carrick was, you know, competing in a hard position. But still, obviously, Luke Shaw, he's got the nod. You know, all I'm saying is this, he got to the semi-finals, but he still hasn't done anything for me. I'm thinking to myself, go dominate a competition and actually get to the final and then dominate that. Then I could be like, because, you know, Sir Bobby Robson, may rest in peace, he got to a semi-final. Do you know what I mean? And you can maybe say this crop of players are probably more talented, you know? What's your thoughts on the Euros while we're here, though, before we segue?
I think the French. I think the French will take some beating, but I think England could be well up there in the end. England could do something there. I don't know. Croatia. I don't know whether Modric he's on the wrong side at the moment, and he's still good. He's still good, but whether he's got that level, I don't know.
I mean, look,
they've got some good players. Croatia got some good players as well. So Croatia, England, France, they're all contenders. I don't rate Italy. I think it's the worst Italy side.
Yeah, they're struggling.
I'm always supporting Italy at the World Cup, you know, or the Euros. I always support Italy. That's where my family are from. So
is that not where your name's from as well?
Yeah, my mum and dad born in Piacenza near Milan. So
all I can say in Italian is buongiorno, signore. Bella. Grazie.
Yes.
But yeah, do you know what? Great country. I mean, Milan. I've been to Milan. I've been to Venice. Been to the San Siro. Been to Rome. Rome is a beautiful place. Beautiful,
chic ground now.
I've
been to Rome, man. Don't talk to me about that.
Did you know that's funny?
The facilities in there are disgusting, mate.
Yeah. I thought, God, are you still there?
Yeah, sorry, mate.
Yeah. No, I'm like, because you know
I've been distracted. I'm watching your women getting beaten by our women. Sorry, mate.
Actually, do you know what? Actually, saying that, Katie Zellum, I've got Katie Zellum coming on as well. She plays for Man Utd Women. Got her coming on in a few weeks.
You're probably in this game. I'm not sure. I'm just watching it.
I think she plays centre middle up front.
I just got a bit distracted. Sorry about that. I shouldn't.
No, it's okay. Don't be silly. Claude, there's a question here from Taddy Osho Sports. Claude, what's your take on my chances of making it into the England team?
Yeah,
I've never seen you play, mate.
Oh, poor old Taddy, eh? Oh. I think you might have a chance playing for Nigeria, Taddy.
Listen. We could actually. Do you know? Here's a question on the back of that, Claude. What's your thoughts on this Aaron Wan-Bissaka situation?
Well, what's happened with him?
So he's not got into the England team. He still can't get picked. Should he just turn around and be like, "I'm going to play for Congo"? Because he's going to get games. He's going to get loved by the country. You know, he's going to be able to have some international.
Are they good enough to be at tournaments? These players have got to realise that they want to be seen, don't they, on the world stage?
I think that's it, isn't it?
I'm not being funny, but are Congo going to be on the world stage?
Do you know what my answer to that? They're not. However, you're going to be able to play for a country that's going to adore you. You know, I think
it's all very well, but and I admire Aubameyang because he's playing for Gabon at the moment. But
not everyone can play for Claude. Not everyone can play for England. You can, like you said, you can only pick 23 people.
True, that's true.
He keeps getting skipped, overlooked.
I'm sure he can find. He could play for Scotland, couldn't he? Could just say he was visiting Glasgow one day.
I think
Tony
probably
Castorino pulled it out, didn't he? I had no Irish connection, but suddenly he suddenly played for Ireland and admitted he didn't have any qualifications to play for them. So anyone.
I think for me, yeah, I want to see Wan-Bissaka play for Congo personally. I mean, my heritage is Nigeria, so I'm always up for seeing these young black African players play for their country because you know I know what it means to their families. You know, I'm just going to segue on to.
I was supporting Nigeria in that last World Cup. Because I was with Ty in the studio, and we were doing the watch-alongs, and we're doing the Nigeria watch-alongs, and he was all kitted up in the Nigeria stuff, and I was supporting Nigeria at the time as well. But
obviously, you had Kanu that played for Arsenal, Nigerian.
Please don't get this the wrong way, but I find a lot of these African teams that lack a bit of naivety when they're playing.
I think when you say naivety, what do you mean? Is it because they're not? Are they structured, or they play with too much player? Tactically,
yeah.
Well, I think it's the coaches when it comes to that because you saw how well Cameroon done back in the day, Nigeria as well. I think it depends on the coaches because
even Cameroon they done so well to a point, but then their naivety lost them the game because they were giving the stupid free kicks away, weren't they, and things like that. And
well, we could talk about if we're going to talk about players and stuff, we can talk about the naivety from England. Harry Kane didn't pass the ball to Sterling, you know.
That is because he was greedy, and he wanted to be the man that put them into the he saw his name flashing on the head. But then he's the England captain, and he can get away with what he wants, can't he? Because as you know, England captains do what they want because we all see what Shearer done to Len. He nearly took his head off. Because he threatened
the same.
Because he threatened not to play for England again. They revoked the charge and said it was an accident.
Well, like you said it. If you're England captain,
you get away. He does get a lot away with a lot of things in games if you watch.
Yeah, 100%. But what I will say on the African teams, we need to. Like you said, you've got Aubameyang. I call him a boomerang. Yes, Abigail. Yes, I was just about to say this to touch on it when France won the World Cup. I think it was a nice moment for the African countries because Africa won the World Cup in my eyes. Nigeria, Cameroon, Ghana, Senegal. Remember Senegal in the World Cup?
Senegal. You got as you say, Thierry Henry. What's Thierry? No, Thierry Henry is not, is he?
It's just from a small island. I think it begins with B or M. I can't remember.
Yeah, isn't he Indian, Terry Henry?
Pardon?
Isn't his roots from West Indies, Terry Henry?
No. It's Africa. It's Africa, my friend. Africa, yeah. Anyone in the comments, if you can let us know where Thierry Henry is originally from.
His roots. I'm talking about his roots.
Yeah, his heritage. Yeah. But we're talking about naivety. Okay. Now let's talk about Arsene Wenger.
He's already French, is he?
He's Algerian. He's Algerian. Burkina Faso. Thank you very much, Abigail. Yes, Burkina Faso. There you go. Thank you very much, Claude. I want to move on. Big shout out to JB. Claude, I have true respect for you. You've traveled home way to support your team. Big up. Claude, Arsene Wenger. Now, I'm not going to talk about the days that you've done the Invincibles, because I think George Graham's Cup double was better than the Invincibles, in my opinion, personally. Because
I think Wenger would, in a way, I think he got away with a lot. I think everyone, to call him one of the greatest and put him out with Ferguson, I think is a bit stupid, because I think he was lucky to have such great players when he did. And I'm not being funny. His record in Europe was poor.
Yep.
He never done anything in Europe to me, in European competition. And that 2004 team should have won the Champions League, had the ability to win the Champions League. But we were too fussed about staying unbeaten. And I regret that, because I would have took 1 or 2, even 3 defeats that season to win the Champions League. We should have been the first London club to win it, and it hurts me to this day that we didn't win it that year. But I put it down to Wenger, and after that,
would you say he was naive with his tactics?
Well, the last 10 years of his management, he was just an accountant.
An accountant. We've got a question here from Abigail. Would you swap the Invincible season for a Champions League?
100%. What it means, we still win the league, you mean?
Abigail, I think she's meaning the Invincible season, that accolade, okay, for a Champions League.
Yeah, as I said, I'll take a few defeats in that season and win the league, and I would swap it. I would definitely have the Champions League rather than the Invincible season. Yeah, 100%.
So why was Wenger such an accountant then? In your words, why?
Because he wasn't spending. He went with the club's policy of not spending money, and that rubbish he came out with, that he said the club would have gone down under if we didn't sell these players, is complete rubbish. I'm not having that at all. And as I said, he supported the club's policy on selling these players. So he's got to be accountable for that. For me,
okay.
He said he sacrificed this, he sacrificed that. He's not sacrificed anything. He's getting £10 million a year.
Claude, you make me laugh. You make me laugh.
Sacrifice is a joke, mate. But then it's nothing like the Arsenal fan base, mate. It's nothing like it, mate. It's pure comedy, mate. Our fan base is a complete comedy show, mate.
I'm gonna come to your fan base real quickly, but I want to ask you about this. Shout out Monster in the building. Everyone, please smash a like. Claude, there was
Is that Monster that goes on the football terrace?
He used to be on the football terrace. He used to be, yeah. It's the same guy, Chelsea fan. He was the guy that said pray for your rivals when they signed about a 7-a-side team in the summer.
Is he the one that came out and said they're going to win the league at the start of the season?
Yeah. That's him.
I'll say this for them though. If they had Tuchel in at the start of the season, they would have gone very close.
100%. But they didn't. So
yeah. They kept with Lampard and far too long for them.
100%.
I think they should have done what they done with Di Matteo. After Di Matteo won that Champions League, they knew that they need to still up the grade, and they should have done that with. He done a bit, but I knew he would have problems with the pressure of buying the superstars and moulding them into a team. It's all very well when you've got young players, yeah. There's no pressure on you, but when the pressure was on, he couldn't take it.
Can I? There's one thing I want to ask you about as a Man United fan. Robin van Persie was sold to Manchester United. Now that's one of the most funniest things I've ever read, that he was coming. I remember reading the rumors and thinking, not possible. Then it actually happened.
Well, I couldn't. That's another thing. Yeah, that's another thing I couldn't understand. Your biggest rival, Ferguson, and you're just handing your best player to him. I would have said, if I was Wenger and he said, "Oh, I want," I would say, "Well, if you want Van Persie, give me Rooney then." No, but what do? We give him away.
Yeah,
and you're telling me that's ambition. That's an ambitious club. We've become and what do we get? What do we get from you lot? Mikel Sylvester. Jesus Christ! Oh my God! This is what I'm saying. We sold Ashley Cole to Chelsea. We get William Gallas, who was I'm sorry, it was coming to the end. We got done in that deal. We get all these players that no surplus to requirements like at Chelsea. Ben Ayoun. Oh, bloody Ben Ayoun. Not good enough for Chelsea. Oh, we'll have him. You know what I mean? Peter Cech coming to the end of his career decides, the final. 2 weeks before joining Chelsea as their coach, decides to throw the final. So you know what I mean? It's bullshit, really. Bullshit. We give them Cesc Fabregas, and they get what do we get back in return? Willian. We get Willian. It's like we're a retirement home. We're a bloody retirement home. Mate.
Do you know? I've asked the question.
West Ham used to be our retirement home. When you retired, all our players used to go to West Ham. We're now the retirement home, man, in London. We're the retirement home.
That's what I'm saying. Look, I've asked the question about Man United, and now let's, before Arteta is going to be one of the last things we talk about. But before we go there, the squad right now, like you said it, in social media we say Arsenal.
Oh, that's another one you give us, Mkhitaryan. Fucking hell. We give you Alexis Sanchez, and you give us Mkhitaryan. Although, mind you, having said that, they both flopped, didn't they? Really.
But Claude, what was in your mind at the time that's happening? Does it feel like you're reading a joke or a comic book?
No, I couldn't believe that we're giving our best player away, and we're told 5 years earlier by Gazidis that we're going to compete with Bayern Munich, and the only thing we compete with Bayern Munich is that we've got better toilets than them. You know what I'm saying? These are words coming out of Ivan Gazidis, supported by Arsene Wenger, by the way, that we were going to compete with Bayern Munich. Yeah, and then a few years later, you're selling your best player to Manchester United. What's that? What club is with? And you get people in. You get our fan base as well. Oh, he's done his best. Oh, Jesus Christ, do me a favour.
So, Claude, David Luiz, Willian. There was a question earlier about Martinelli. This current squad, okay, what's your assessment of it?
I like the young players. I like the young players that are coming through.
Saka, bad boy. He's a star boy.
Saka's good.
Martinelli,
Smith Rowe, Martinelli. They're good. They're Kieran Tierney as well, but he come from Celtic, but he's another one. And yeah, so it's youngster wise, but we still need that experience because at the moment it's the youngsters lifting the older players, really.
Yeah.
To be honest,
what do you know? Obviously, it's not going to be another Man United class of '92. I don't think that will ever happen again. Personally, do you think? I mean, what is the progression? What's the aspirations for Arsenal this season? Because last season you won the FA Cup, you won the Community Shield, cheeky cup double for Arteta. People say that that's credit in the bank for him, but right now, are we seeing?
I think Solskjaer made a great point the other day when he said about. And you shouldn't judge a team by trophy by more where they are in the league. Yeah, I think he's made a great point there.
Do you think so, though?
Yeah. See, because look, listen to me now. Listen, right. You look at the Spurs situation, right? And years ago they had Ramos, didn't they? They won the FA Cup.
Yeah.
With it.
One
They
day
only
Ramos.
paid for that only paid. Would you say? Don't you think that even though he never won nothing, what's his name now? I'm forgetting his name now. This the Tottenham guy.
Jose.
Pochettino. Even though he never won nothing in those few years, don't you think he took the cup more forward than some manager that won them the cup a few years ago?
Do you know what? I'm split on the answer because as a football fan, okay, I grew up slating other teams. I support Man United, the best club in the world.
Yeah.
We win trophies, We win trophies.
But let's get this honest, right? This is not 30 years ago, 25 years. Or 30 years.
No. So
big ones are now the Champions League and the Premier League. Right?
That's it. Yeah.
These other trophies are reserved. I call them reserve team cups. Yeah, where every team plays their reserve team. Yeah. No, let's get
to the final.
I'm only giving what I believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you ask anyone in Europe, what you come to the player from Europe, you come into England, he wants to come to win the Premier League and to play in the Champions League. Yeah, you're not interested in the FA Cup or League Cup, right? Look at Man. I would say Man City have won it because they've got such a squad they can field 3 teams.
Yeah.
That's why they win the League Cup every year, because even if they could put anyone out and win it. You know what I'm saying? But other teams they don't put their best players out. Everyone they change the goal, they change this, they change that. So it's not really the two competitions that are the landmark now are the Premier League and the Champions League, whether we like it or not. Yeah, whether we like it or not. Because if I'm being honest, Man City when they played Arsenal, then that's not their competition. That's not their competition. When the competition they want to win is the Champions League and the Premier League.
Okay,
although they're probably going to win this League Cup for the 4th year.
Do you not think though? I hear what you're saying here, but there's an argument. There's an argument to say that Pochettino and Jose Mourinho have basically done the same thing, because at the end of the day, you judge a manager on results and trophies, and they've not won anything, Claude. I hear what you're saying.
Mourinho might get them to a League Cup, might win the League Cup. But if you look at it, have they progressed as a team by just winning the League Cup? No. Pochettino done more in those few years that he's. I think Mourinho. As I say before, I don't think there's. I think the problem with Tottenham is the players more than anything. I think any manager who does well there deserves a medal. I mean, them players are just they don't seem to be interested. I don't know what it is. I don't know why they don't want to.
God, let me ask you a question then. You are Harry Kane, okay? Right now, do you stay at Tottenham to develop more and play good attacking football, or do you move to win trophies? Because I hear what you're saying, and I do get what you're saying.
I said before, he wants to go to a club that's got a chance of winning the Champions League if it's in Europe, or their own title, or the Premier League over here. That's all he's interested.
100%.
This is what players will get recognised on the stage, on the big stage for winning leagues or competing for the league and Premier League and the Champions League. FA Cup and League Cup, all right. It's a day out at Wembley, and
it's a day out.
Here we go, and meet the royal family or whoever's in on
whoever turns up,
and fireworks going on the pitch. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It's not the same, mate. It's not the same.
So,
the minute they destroyed the FA Cup, mate. I
get what you're saying. When
they started putting when you lot decided to pull out for that World, that's when the FA Cup went down.
Yeah. 100%.
Also, semi-finals at Wembley. To me, the FA Cup was about getting to Wembley, and
in the final,
neutral game. But now it's like semi-final and final.
It doesn't make sense.
And it's all about money for for the English FA to rack up their bank balance and keep people in jobs, and half of them shouldn't even be in jobs. But anyway, that's what it's all about at the end of the day, and it's bullshit. It's absolute bullshit.
But Claude, I need to ask you though, but trophies, fans want to see trophies. Fans want to celebrate trophies. They want to banter other teams to say we've won this, we've won that. And also I heard what the FA Cup is.
That's what I'm saying. That's where maybe the modern day fans' mentality is all wrong. Maybe I don't know, because I think if you're looking at it as in my how I look at it, I want to see my team. If you win the FA Cup, all very well, but I don't get excited as if we're challenging for the title or actually do well in the Champions League. I mean, next season we could be in that UEFA conference thing. I hope not. I just hope we're not having to do that.
Yeah, I think it's a stupid idea, to be honest.
Who has put that idea out, mate? That's a joke. Mate.
A banker, probably.
So
my next question.
It's like this handball rule since Wenger's gone in that committee, man. The handball rule's been changed about 3 or 4 times.
100%.
Why they did not just leave it as it was, either it's deliberate or not deliberate. And now there's all different. That even the referees are confused themselves. They don't even know the rules anymore.
No, you're right. And obviously now you're seeing things be given.
Don't get me started about VAR. Don't get me started about VAR either, mate, because that's the biggest joke going. I think, right, and this is where I look at it. VAR should only be used for goal line and offsides. They're the only factual decisions there are in football, right? All other decisions are subjective, right? Because what if one referee is on the pitch, right, is incompetent? What's to say the other referee that's sitting in that studio is just as incompetent as he is? Do you know what I'm saying? It's got to be down to the referee's decision. We survived 100 years in this sport without all this crap, all this fucking rubbish. All it does is taken the emotion out of the game. There's no emotion. You can't celebrate a goal anymore. I'd scrap it tomorrow morning, mate. I'd scrap the whole thing.
Claude, listen.
Instead of getting these silly machines, let's put a bit of pressure and let referees from Europe come over here in the Premier League and get these idiots who have been too comfortable, right? Yeah, half of them can't even get around the fucking pitch, right? Get them out completely.
I think. I mean, the caliber of refereeing in England is atrocious. I think we saw that with the fact that none of them ever get called up to a European international game anymore. And for me, I think there will be a change. But who wants to be a referee these days, Claude? That's the next question.
I saw that. What about that decision the other day? It went for Chelsea's way, by the way. He completely pushed him over in the penalty area. He said, no, it's just wave play on, the referee.
But as you said, it's subjective, though, isn't it? I mean...
Yeah, but you say that's what I'm trying to say. That's why VAR... Why VAR is... What's the point of VAR? Because it didn't even go to VAR. You know what I'm saying? It's all bullshit. So we play by the rule. We don't play by the rules. So what's going on here?
Listen. I think what is every fan just tunes in and then we're all surprised together. It's still another talking point.
They've ruined our game. They've totally ruined our game, man. This is not our game anymore, mate. It's all to do with TV and getting more views on television. I'm sure this is all based for television. It's all done for television, mate. Entertainment. Television entertainment, mate.
My last question.
I want to go back to the day where we could just argue in the pub about decision instead of having all that crap where the bloke celebrates a goal and then he has to wait 5 minutes to say, no, it's not a goal. And
the game's gone. When it's like that, the game is gone. The game is gone 100%. What's your thoughts on Arteta, Claude?
Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't think he should have got the job in the first place. I want him to succeed. Don't get me wrong. I do want him to succeed because at the end of the day, I want humble pie. I want as much humble pie possible because that means my team has been successful.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I'm saying? So I want to be
Yeah.
proved wrong. I want to be proved wrong, but I'm not so sure. I don't think he's. I think he handled the Aubameyang situation in a certain way. He handled it right. But in a certain way he didn't. I don't think he should have gone public with it. I think he should have been just in the dressing room saying, "You're not playing today," and that's it. I don't think he should have told the whole world about it. But that's the arrogant man he is at the moment. And I don't think he could be afford to be arrogant if he's winning Premier League titles and competing for Premier League titles.
I hear what you're saying.
He shouldn't have that arrogance about him. That's what I don't like about him.
I hear that. My last question.
I really hope he sticks it down me. That means we've won, and I hope a whole of Twitter can have a go at me as well because that means we've won the title. And then
Who is your favourite all-time Arsenal player and why?
It's not necessarily the best, probably not best, but my favourite all-time. There's two, and there's two. There's George Armstrong, which I saw towards the end of his career. I thought, lovely, what a player he was, up and down that wing. If only that's what you call work rate. The man worked his balls off, and I loved it. And of course, another one is David Rocky, Rocastle.
Yeah,
he's no longer with us. What a player! He's an Englishman born to play for Brazil, mate. That's all I can say. He had every attribute. He could tackle, skillful on the ball. He could play anywhere in the midfield. He could play, mate.
And I've got to ask this before you do get off. We were talking about social media and cancellation and people jumping on people, racism and stuff. Your mate Lee Gunner seems to be a character that is talked about. Obviously he's came out and said, I've not heard him say it, but he has agreed to people that he did say the racist stuff on Twitter. What's your thoughts on? I know he's your mate and stuff, but what is your thoughts on that whole situation with the fan base and Lee Gunner?
Well, I've never heard him say anything racist.
Okay.
I don't know nothing about that, so I can't comment.
Okay.
I don't think he's got a racist bone in him, but I don't know if maybe he said something that was taken out of context. I don't know, but for me, I've never heard him say anything. What else was it? Sorry.
No, what's the fan base? Why is the fan base against Lee Gunner? Why? Why you say you've got a toxic?
Maybe because he tells them what they don't want to hear.
Do you think that's all it is?
He's very outspoken. That's Lee, isn't it? I mean, he's very outspoken. He don't pull any punches, and people don't like that. People don't like honest opinion because if it's honest opinion, what they're saying about a certain person, they don't like it. But he's straight up front. That's the way he is. I find him okay. I don't find him. To me, he's always been nice to me. He's one of the first people when when I've been down. He's one of the first people to phone me and see how I am. So let me tell you that he's got a great heart as well. People take the wrong thing. What it is, he's focused. He's number one focus has been at the top of the tree, and good luck to him. And maybe people don't like that. People don't like people being successful.
Okay. And finally, I promise you, after this, I'll let you enjoy the game. What's the score, by the way? Out of curiosity.
Full time, Arsenal 2, Man United 0.
It's all right.
Sorry, but at least it's not the Meds, isn't it? You might get your revenge. You'll probably get your revenge in Poland in the final, mate.
Well, you need to get there first, Claude, for us to play you. What's your unpopular opinion of Arsenal? By the way, Claude, it's 1-1 between Fulham and Leeds, just to let you know.
Oh, is it? Oh, it's
yeah.
What about that game? Isn't they playing tonight then? Oh,
yeah,
right.
yeah. Friday night football. It could be. Oh, still 1-1. Still 1-1. Yeah.
Is it all? Definitely with Leeds, it's end to end, isn't it? It's end to end.
Yeah. I mean, Leeds like to play good football, but they also are quite naive themselves.
Fulham have really improved a lot since I saw them in the first game. I had them as a guarantee not to get 10 points, but they proved me wrong on that.
So, do you know what I think Fulham are? Do you know what I think Fulham are? You know when you're in a sprint and then you're in a 100-meter sprint and then you trip over yourself as you start and then you catch up. I think Fulham could be that guy, that catch up and just do it. Just.
Yeah.
So what's your unpopular opinion of Arsenal?
The way Newcastle are at the moment, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. But what was you talking about before that? Sorry.
Unpopular opinion for Arsenal.
What do you mean by unpopular opinion?
So when I say unpopular opinion, so for me, unpopular opinion for Man United, I said sell Martial to get an elite striker.
So what I would say would be an unpopular opinion
for Arsenal right now in the squad. Not say
what I actually believe in, but what might be an unpopular opinion.
Yeah.
Right. Right now I get you. Right.
Before you come up with one, what do you think of this comment here? By Laurie, big up to you. Thank you so much for the spot, Laurie. My unpopular opinion is that the club died when we lost the Champions League final and left Highbury.
Yeah, it did. And I'll tell you another thing that it died. Why it died? Because Wenger decided to change. He wanted to play like Barcelona. I think he wanted to change the way we were playing, which wasn't too bad, to the way Barcelona, and it did work. We were getting bullied after that. So he's right, it did die. And not only that, it just died because we're selling all our best players and replacing them with crap. So my unpopular opinion, I just don't think Arteta is good enough to be Arsenal manager.
Do you think that's unpopular, or do you think that's factual?
I think if you look at if you've gone in our fan base, it's an unpopular opinion.
That's why I put it to you like that, because there is a lot of Arteta in, and obviously there's also
and there's people that not naming any names. 1 week are in, out, shake it all about. You do the league judges and you turn it around. And I love league judges. I love him to death, but he is what he. Oh, what was it the other week? Now we've beaten Tottenham. Oh, and he didn't play Willian. I'm Arteta in. I'm fully behind him. 2 weeks. I'll give it 2 weeks. If we lose, if we go out of the Europa League, it'll be Arteta.
Listen, Claude, I'm not gonna lie. I've laughed with you. I mean, God, we've nearly gotten to tears. We've done everything over flipping 90 minutes here. Guys that have been in the cup, thank you so much for watching us, listening. If you're going to watch it back, please.
We've lasted more than Gareth Bale.
I know, mate. I know. Gareth Wales more like, to be honest. Claude, I just want to say...
as long as he can get his golf handicap down, I think he'll be okay.
Listen, I think the government have opened them up by the end of the month, so that's why he probably didn't fancy playing in Europe. Claude, I want to thank you so much for coming on. Seriously, I appreciate it.
It's been a pleasure, mate, and I hope I've given you enough stuff.
Oh no! Listen. I mean, obviously, we've explained to you what I do on this podcast and stuff. And like I said, it's like a free safety zone. You speak how you want. We're not judging here. You've actually, shed some light on a few stuff that I don't think people actually knew about. In your personal story with your family, AFTV and stuff, and the support. So I know many people are probably gonna probably change their views of you, and probably change their views of not being in this stupid judging cancel culture, you know. Maybe actually think for themselves.
I'd love people now to realise when they're doing the way they're carrying on and have a little thought, because the way they carry on, and we've got to be more kind to each other. We've got to be more. We shouldn't be attacking each other like we do, and it's horrible. And look at Caroline Flack, a lovely young lady, took her own life because of all the pressures, all the pressure, all the hate and pressure on her. That's not right.
Exactly. Exactly.
Let's be nice. Let's be nice to each other. We can ban. Let's have banter, but let's not take it to the abusive level. And because some people are not strong enough to cope with it. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. And listen, guys, me and Claude's DM's always open if you want to talk or chat or whatever.
Right.
Thank you so much for everyone that listened. Claude, thank you again. Appreciate it. Please, guys, listen, follow me on all the socials, follow Claude on all the socials. Big up to everyone. Peace and love to you. It is a Friday night, so football fans,
it's time to go.